Hello and welcome to the Trial On podcast. This is we had a week off. We have to work for a living, so we're both busy, so we couldn't do the podcast. But we're back, and we've been keeping up with all the NRL news. A little bit of NBA. I know you dabble in the NBA.
Yep.
The A League starts up soon. We've also had a couple of ODIs and a couple of T20s in the cricket, so the summer's kicked off. So it's still all happening. We're still counting down to the NRL season. I think it's 93 days, something like that.
Right.
Let's start with the A League.
Alrighty, the A-League starts December 27th, and we've actually got a tipping comp starting as well. So the prizes for first, $150. Pardon me. Second is $100, and third's $50. Pretty sure. All cold hard cash. First, second, and third. No prizes for runners up, really.
And it's free to enter, isn't it?
Free to enter, yeah. Free to enter. All you got to do is be subscribed to our YouTube channel. And then just flick us a message on Insta, TikTok, whatever you follow us on.
Twitter. We're everywhere. Just flick us a message. Let us know your username on YouTube so we can verify that you've subscribed, and then we'll send you the invite code for the competition. Then you're in. Yeah. And you just put in your tips every week, and if you come first, second, or third, you win some money. That's it.
Yeah.
Costs you no money to enter. That's the comp.
Free cash.
Well, you have to beat me, and I'm the guru, so I think I'll be winning it, and I'll be taking the prize money too. I'll be pocketing the prize money if I win. Is that fair?
No. You'll make 3 accounts and then take home first, second, third.
We should make a deal right now. If one of us do win, because we've got one account each in the tipping comp, we'll just donate it to charity. They can choose a charity if we win. Donate our own money. Yeah.
You guys can choose when you see this video.
When
Which charity do you want us to send it to?
When I win.
No, well, it's already I'm already going to win.
Oh, please.
So,
all right, let's start with some NRL news. There's a little bit of player movement to talk about. Probably the most important one. We actually spoke about it a few times during the year. The Cameron Smith, Brendan Smith, Harry Grant situation, how that was going to unfold. We've seen a little bit more of that. We've seen Cameron's now said that he's not going to play for Melbourne again.
Yep.
Brendan Smith has come out and indicated to other clubs that he's available as of 2022.
Yep.
So that probably lends to the fact that Harry Grant is getting the 9 jersey there. So he is going elsewhere now.
I mean, it only works if Harry Grant wants to stay.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if Storm do nothing next season, which they probably won't, but in that slim chance, if they do nothing, would Harry Grant want to stay?
I don't know. I think he wants to play hooker full time. So if he gets that jersey, I think he's not going to go because they don't have a little bit of success. I think he'll stay. I do think he'll stay. Brendan Smith, the biggest thing out of this, I think, because we knew someone was going to give. 2 doesn't go into 1, so they both wanted the hooker jersey. We knew one of them was going to go somewhere else. We probably thought Harry Grant was going to be the one to get the nod.
Yeah.
Brendan Smith, very quality player. I think he's definitely got a future at hooker. He's played 9 for New Zealand, I think, already. So
I think he came off the bench. I think.
Okay. I thought he might have played again.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Anyway, the biggest thing I thought was his manager sent out an email to 14 clubs to say that he is seeking a release. If anyone's interested, get in contact. Why 14? There's 15 possible clubs. Who missed out?
Okay, I was having to think about this earlier, and I'm thinking, where would he not want to go? And then I'm thinking North Queensland.
You don't think he would want to go back?
I don't think he want to go back. Maybe he doesn't like the weather up there.
I don't know.
He's from New Zealand. It's not too hot in New Zealand, I wouldn't imagine. You've been. What's the weather like over there?
Mate, I don't even remember. I remember it's monsoonal in bloody North Queensland. Between January, February, they get mad cyclones and shit up there in Townsville. So I don't know if it'd be the best place to live. He said he didn't mind the lifestyle. I listened to a podcast he was on. He said he didn't mind the lifestyle up there because it was very farm, very laid back, used to what he was used to in New Zealand. So
yep.
Maybe I'm thinking, I don't know. Is there enough hatred between them and the Roosters for him not to want to go there?
No. I mean, if he went there...
So you think it's Brandon is the one that's told, he said, I won't go there? Or has Melbourne indicated that, like, we will release you, but you can't go X? Which way do you reckon that's gone?
I think it's gone Brandon. I think Brandon would... Oh. So when's his contract finish?
Okay, so he can talk to people from 2022. If he wants to go earlier, Melbourne will consider it, but they want adequate compensation.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking like his contract ends next year.
Yeah, so I think it's up.
So
it wouldn't have anything to do.
I don't think it would have anything to do with Melbourne. So I think it would be more to do with where he wants to go.
He wouldn't want to go. It's very, very interesting, that is.
Yeah, I'm thinking North Queensland. He's been there. He didn't like it. Doesn't want to go back. It's the only place that's the only place I can think of.
All right, on the other side of the coin, where do you think he would be best? Or a couple options.
Oh, well, we spoke about this before. New Zealand.
Yeah.
Be good for him to go back.
Good fit.
Yeah. And they need a hooker. The Titans, I think they're in...
The Titans could low-key be one of those teams pushing into the top, like bottom half of the 8, pushing up if they got a hooker, a class hooker.
Yeah, quality hooker, yeah.
Like they've already got enough ingredients there, especially with Brimson as well. Like we were talking about how good they were going before Brimson really emerged this year.
Yeah.
Like, and then the back half of this year, he'd become his own player and he stole the show, I thought, in that game 1 of the State of Origin. So... Like they've got enough pieces there, the Titans, that if they can add Brandon Smith, and maybe it's still not too late to add Cameron Smith. He still has not fallen which way, so I'm not giving up hope there. If he can go there, it would be outstanding for them. Another team that I think could use him, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Bulldogs. They've got a couple, decent hookers, but none that are really like.
None that would keep Brandon Smith out of the club.
Yeah.
Like if it was to happen, it was to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, both of them were kind of like fighting for that number 9 spot.
No one like cemented that spot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you never know.
Speaking of some people moving on, Josh Reynolds, he's going to go play in the Super League. I think it is time for him. But on the Tigers front, that's really good news for them. It frees up about $750,000.
Was he on that much?
Yeah, he was on $4 million over 3 years. It was reported, so about $750,000 or thereabouts. So they got money to burn. That can go to Brandon Smith. I was having a look at their team today, and I think they do need a hooker. They've got Billy Walters there as well. He played a couple games there last year at hooker. Also plays a little bit of 6, so we don't really know. But there was a lot of talk this year about Dewey making a move from fullback to either the centres, which he end up playing a bit in the centres.
He's doing well there.
They also think he can play 5'8". So I was thinking if they were to go to the market and maybe try and bring in a fullback, Corey Allan is off contract.
Corey Allan.
Yeah, and his debut for Queensland wasn't outstanding. I do think if Valentino catches the ball twice, I think he lays on another 2 tries. He went from not being in a side to being the starting fullback for Queensland. There's obviously talent there. One of the best coaches in the history of the game, Wayne Bennett, sees it. If the Tigers could bring him in, and I think he'd be very susceptible to an offer because he's not going to get the fullback spot at South. If Latrell's fit, he plays fullback. Yep. So Corey Allan to the Tigers, maybe. They got the money now. I don't even think he'd be that expensive. I think you could probably get him for 4, maybe 4 or 5.
I reckon not even that.
Well, you think he's played Origin? His manager could tack that on now, maybe. And fullbacks do command money.
They'll be like, well, how'd he go?
Oh, busy man over here.
That's my bad.
Busy man.
That's my bad.
So Tigers.
Yeah, I think it'd be I mean, if you throw the right amount of cash at him, but I don't think he's worth 500. He's pushing 400.
Do you think he's moving on? Do you think his time at South is numbered?
Yeah.
I think so.
Surely
too.
not. Well, even if, say the Tigers did throw him a lifeline or whatever.
Yeah.
If that's what you call it. I don't think the South would have enough money to match that offer or even beat it.
No, I don't think they do either. I think they're in a little bit of trouble money wise, especially because they got Latrell a bit cheaper for a couple of years. That's coming up. They're gonna have to re-up that. And I think that there was talk that they re-sign him or they're going to try and lock him up for a couple more years. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a bigger money offer.
Plus Jai Arrow.
Yeah,
You've got
plus
Jai
Jai
Arrow
Arrow's
coming
come in.
down. So
And
he'd be on a fair bit of money.
You got Damien Cook. You got Adam Reynolds that's been there forever.
Cody Walker.
So you've got a lot of... And they just re-signed the winger, Alex Johnson, who isn't on a lot of money, but still it's more money there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Josh Reynolds to the Super League. Probably a good time for him to go. 750,000. And to his credit, he come out and said that he didn't live up to that price tag. So as much as we don't really enjoy watching him play too much, but to come out and say that's hat off to him for saying that, I guess. And yeah, that's about it for the NRL. There's not much news going around, not much positive news anyway. But we'll steer clear of all that until it's settled.
Yeah.
And then we'll chat about that. But if there's any player movement or any coach gets sacked, because that seems to happen every other week in the NRL, we'll be sure to cover that. But until then, a little bit of NBA.
Yeah, a little bit of NBA. The season doesn't start till, I'm pretty sure it's Christmas over there, Boxing Day here. So December 26th.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure is the first games. Bloody, who were the first games? I'm pretty sure you got Lakers Mavs. That's one of the games, and that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be talking a bit of player movement there as well. There's been a really big trade. I think it was last week. John Wall and a future first round pick for Russell Westbrook.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so John Wall's playing in Houston now, and they also signed DeMarcus Cousins, and those two used to play in.
Russ has gone to Washington.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook's in Washington.
Oh wow.
Yep, and he'll be wearing the number 4. It's everywhere. Yeah,
I really like John Wall. I really like him.
Yeah.
I used to really like I like the backcourt of John Wall and Bradley Beal for a long time.
Yeah,
I was a fan of that. I think he's a good player. Russ is obviously a good player, but probably hasn't proven himself at that top flight yet to take the next step.
No, well,
he's definitely not in the playoffs yet.
No. Well, he's been a first round exit for the last 4 years or something. Got beat by rookie Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, he's just. I'm not too much of a fan of Russell Westbrook, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like how he's competitive and he's got that intensity, but I just think he's a dickhead. Yeah. No, I don't like him. He's a good player. I don't like him.
Yeah.
But
I heard all the Ball brothers are now in the NBA as well.
Yeah. Detroit, they signed LiAngelo Ball.
So is that just on like a summer league contract? Or is he going to play?
He can play. Like, it's not guaranteed that he will play.
Okay.
So they might chuck him in the G League if he's not performing or whatever.
Yeah. So is that like New South Wales Cup?
Yeah. It's
okay.
like just the league underneath. So it's like it's kind of like a feeder club.
Yeah. So have you seen a lot of him? Any of him at all?
I've seen like highlights of just high school.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him play for UCLA because he was playing for there, and then there's that big scandal in China where he stole some stuff.
So where are they? Let's recap. We got Lonzo.
You got Lonzo. He plays for the Pelicans.
Yeah.
You got LaMelo. He just got drafted by the Hornets.
Is that the Illawarra Hawks owner?
Yeah, it's the Illawarra Hawks owner. He owns the Illawarra Hawks.
How ridiculous is that?
Yeah. And then you got LiAngelo.
Yeah.
LiAngelo. That's his name, isn't it? LiAngelo?
I think 2 people that played in the NBL this year got taken in the top 10. Last year got taken in the top 10. I think someone from the Breakers.
Wasn't top 10.
Not top 10.
I think he was 26th. It was RJ Hampton.
Okay, yeah.
He played for the the Breakers, New Zealand Breakers.
Yeah, I found that sick that it said like Ball, Illawarra Hawks. I thought that was mad.
No, it's good. Bloody bit of other basketball news. Andrew Bogut, he's decided to tie up the boots.
Yeah.
Where's me? He was drafted first overall pick back in. Hold on, I'll just get this up.
Yeah, no, I think he's probably the best Australian to play over there.
Yeah, surely.
I think so. And for him to get taken at number 1, like in a time where basketball wasn't humongous in this country,
yeah, no,
that's pretty good for him. And he's another owner. So two active owners have played in the NBA in the last.
And he's an owner of Sydney Kings.
Yeah,
Yep. All right, I've got some of his accolades here.
give them to me.
So he's the 2005 number 1 NBA draft pick. This is off Basketball Forever. He's 2006 All Rookie First Team, 2011 NBA Blocks Leader, 2015 NBA Champion, 2019 All NBA First Team, 2019 NBL Defensive Player of the Year, and 2019 NBL MVP.
2019 All NBA First Team.
All NBL.
All NBL.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what?
Yeah, no, not NBA. No. No, and then
You just shocked me so bad. I was like,
did I say NBA?
no, you would have said NBL. You would have said NBL.
Jesus.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, no, NBL MVP. I think he only averaged 10 points, 11 boards, or 11 points, 10 boards, something like that.
Yeah,
but no, he did.
No, but he's still in the NBA. And he played a big role in that that Golden State offense. Like I watched a video about how they would they'd run the pick and roll and he would get that free alley on the backside, like, and that's pretty cool that he was that big a part of that team, which is one of the better teams that we've ever seen be put together when they went 73 and was it 73 and
73 and 9, yeah. There's 82 games in the season.
Yeah, so that's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, he did well for himself to fit in that system.
Yeah, so what happened to Golden State last year? Like they were flying high. And then Clay got injured, and Clay's out again, isn't he?
So that was last year. So what happened was so Clay went down in the 2018-2019 finals,
yeah,
with the ACL.
Yeah.
And I don't think he came back. He didn't come back for the 2019-2020 season.
Last season.
Yeah, last season. And then they obviously lost Kevin Durant to free agency, so they had a bunch of scrubs, D'Angelo Russell, and what's his name, Steph.
Yeah.
And then I think it was 6 games in, Steph breaks his hand.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Aaron Baines, Aussie, falls on him.
Let's just talk about Clay for a second. He probably got overshadowed a little bit in that side, especially with Kevin Durant there as well. Kevin Durant was obviously the best player in the playoffs, definitely. Yeah. But Clay's a big part of that offense.
Yeah,
he's a huge part of that offense, and now he's had to sit out almost 2 years. Like he's got to sit out again this year.
Yeah.
So that's a long time out of professional sport, and you see when people come back off long layoffs, they're not the same players. So it's really sad for him.
Yeah, well, he's one of those players that doesn't need the ball in his hands to be really good. Yeah, to be really good. Like when he scored 60 points in 3 quarters, I think it was, he took 11 dribbles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's bloody 11 of these.
Yeah.
11 of those score 60 points.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
Talking about long injury layoffs, let's tie this back to the NRL. We have Jack Bird. So I don't have the numbers, but I know he hasn't played a lot of games in the last few years. I think he's
barely any.
Yeah, I think he's done the ACL maybe twice, and he done it. And the reports coming out last year was he was training the house down. He looked fit he looked the fittest he'd looked in years, and
yeah.
And then everyone's seen that footage of him hobbling off the field, and it breaks your heart a little bit because you know how hard they train.
Yeah.
So he's come back from that this year, and Anthony Griffin's looking to try something a little bit different with him. Apparently he's training really well again.
Yep.
They're hoping that he'll be training with the main team just after Christmas, hopefully, in the new year.
Yep.
But the plan is, and I'll quote Anthony Griffin, he said, we might play him in the back row where he doesn't have that one-on-one dynamic movement both offensively and defensively early in his football, so he can get in there, get dirty, get some carries, make some tackles, get some confidence in his knee, and then we'll do whatever's best for the team after that. So what do you think about maybe Jack Bird moving into the back row? We've seen it a lot of times with I think Wade Graham went from 5'8" into the back row early in his career. So and then we had Luke Lewis go from the wing into the back row. So it does happen. Jack Bird's probably tough enough for it. He definitely loves that tough stuff. But what do you think?
So they want to get him into the back row to kind of
just limit that having to make that one-on-one defense with it. Like imagine trying to tackle Katoni Staggs with a shot ACL.
Yeah.
He's just going to burn you. But I guess you do make a lot of those tackles anyway on the edge.
Yeah,
as an edge back rower.
I'm thinking back rowers and centers aren't all that different. Back rowers are just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe
a bit of lock.
Yeah, I was thinking chuck him in the middle of the park, so it's pretty much just up and down the whole time.
And he does have that ball playing ability to play the middle of the field too.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what's his name? Anthony Griffith?
Yeah, Anthony Griffith, yeah.
Yeah, if that's his train of thought, chuck him in lock. So that it's like you're in the middle of the park, you got plenty of help around you. Either way, they bloody want to run. So,
and I think he's thinking as well, from his centre background, he's probably going to be able to hit a hole out there too. So that's another option there. If you have Jack Bird and a gun centre running at you, you're a little bit more worried than if you have just a back rower that's going to run the same line all day. So
yeah,
the Dragons are in an interesting position. I think for a few years they've had a lot of good pieces at the club. I think Ben Hunt, and he said this himself, he's underperformed. Corey Norman, I actually really like Corey Norman. He actually said this week too that he's underperformed. He hasn't played his best footy in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I think he's a really good player. So you got them two. You got McInnes, who I love. I really, really like McInnes. Dufty, I don't know. I think he gets caught out at fullback a lot, especially defensively.
Oh, yeah. Well, pretty much only offensively.
His support plays really good.
Yeah.
And he pops up and he can score tries for nothing. But I think his defensive positioning
and effort
isn't great. It seems like effort. And I'm not going to call it... I don't know if it is because I'm not going to call it his effort. But it does seem like... And I wonder if that's a lack of positioning.
Mate, well, we've watched him in games where he's in good position to try and put his body in front and he'll just stick an arm and a leg out.
That's what...
that's effort.
That's what I definitely agree with that. I don't know if they need to bring someone in. I don't know if they need to bring someone in just to teach him a little bit of positioning, because it just seems like he gets caught out too often, especially kicks behind the line. Happens too much to him.
Yeah.
I do like Dufty though. I don't think the answer is to change it. I think they've changed it enough. If you're gonna go with that spine, stick with it.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're interesting. They're in an interesting spot, I think. While you were away, we had some ODIs. We had the 3 ODIs. We've had 2 T20s so far. That series is already wrapped up. India have already won that. They won the first 2. We won the ODIs. We won 2-1. I'll just rattle that off. We won the first one by 66 runs, the second one by 51, and we lost the third by 13. Players who impressed me, obviously Steve Smith. He was a little bit out of form actually in the IPL. Come back here and he's just hitting them everywhere. He averaged 72 in the ODIs.
Oh, 72.
Yeah, he scored 200s. He's just flying. And then a guy for India. He's not in the Test squad, so I wonder if he's just a one-day kind of player. But Hardrick Pena, he is good. He's good. He averaged 70 in the ODIs. Remember, that's in a losing series. He still averaged 70. He batted at 6. He's better than a 6, I'll tell you that. And
first or second.
The best thing about him is he bats with this bat, right? And when it's time to go, he swaps bats to a bigger bat and he just starts whacking them everywhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he brings out these big... There's actually like a GIF on all over Facebook, and it's like the bat's like huge and they made it bigger, but he's really good. He bowled a little bit too in one of the ODIs. And he said, "No, I'm not doing that again." He said, "I'm too sore after that."
Yeah.
But he hit some good sixes. Maxwell was good fun in a couple, but in the T20s, we just, I don't know, we can't go with them. We seem to be a little bit conservative there. India are obviously good at the shorter forms of the game, and they've been really good at Test level for a few years now. So the Test series is going to be good. I think Kohli's not going to play a lot of it because he's got paternity leave, so that's kind of disappointing. I would have liked to see a full strength India there. You wouldn't have watched much of the cricket.
I watched bits and pieces, but not enough to kind of take anything out of it.
Yeah, well, like Test cricket is where we really like to watch. So the Test series starts in a couple of weeks. So
are we going down?
Yeah, we'll be going down to the New Year's Test, as per usual.
Yep.
All right, just to end us here, I thought we'd end with a question. All right. Who is your favourite forward currently in the NRL?
Mine.
Your favourite forward. Not including, we'll leave out a hooker. So it's got to be a lock, back row, or a front row.
And should we make it not on our favourite team?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, all right. My favourite forward. Oh, that's a tough one. Do you have yours?
Right now?
Yeah. Because if you just want to rattle yours off, I'll have a quick think.
My favourite forward, I'll go Tamalolo. Oh, we can't go on our favourite team?
You know what? We can go on our favourite team.
I'll go Tamalolo.
Yeah.
Not only is he my favourite, I do think he's the best forward in the game. I think he's just explosive, late footwork. I think he's the whole package. I think if anyone, any team wanted a starting lock tomorrow, they'd bring him in.
Yeah. All right, I'm thinking.
I rattled it off a bit quick for you.
Yeah, I know. I like Big Papa.
Yeah.
You can't go past Big Papa.
He's had a great couple of years too.
Yeah, he has. I hate that he's a Queenslander. You
tend to forget he was a back rower.
Was he?
Yeah, he played on the edge. He played for Australia in the back row.
Surely not.
Yeah. At the World Cup, when they had the World Cup in England, he played on the edge. And they moved him into the middle.
He must have put on a bit of size since then.
Yeah, well, he's just a monster, man.
Mate,
and he has put on size, but he's mobile.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
He's mobile. We've seen him chase down Fogarty this year. He is mobile.
Mate, I think he got up to 30-something K.
Yeah, he's good. Canberra, it's a whole wormhole, but Canberra were disappointing this year.
Yeah.
They're losing that grand final to the Roosters, which I still think they should have won that. I think they're one pass away from winning that grand final.
One of these?
Yeah, but if Joey Leilua gets a pass away, they still score anyway. But they're in a prime position to win that comp.
Yeah.
And they had some difficulties this year. Ricky Stewart kept pointing to that throughout the year, but I mean, it was COVID. Everyone had difficulties. They're in a really good position to win. And to be honest, they were really disappointing at the back end of the year.
Yeah.
Especially, like, you made a point of talking about it. They kept coming from behind. They kept like going in the second half and having big second halves.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe it was close and they'd run away with it in the second half.
Yeah.
A team doesn't win the comp like that. You've got to be good. You got to be on. You can't be letting teams compete like that. Like,
yeah. Plus, it was like teams like the Bulldogs and that were getting into it and were up at halftime and all that.
Yeah.
But they've actually brought in Ryan James.
See,
next season, and I think he's a gun.
Yeah, well, a few years ago, he was talked about in circles as one of the better forwards in the comp. So not a bad buy there. All right, we'll wrap this one up. We'll be back here probably next Monday, but we'll keep you posted on our socials. Don't forget to check out our TikTok, our Twitter, our Instagram, all at Tryline YT, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.